She liked you Wednesday, but now it's Friday, and she has to wash her hair.
Hey, so I know I said that my final project would be my final video journal, and I lied. And I wanted to do more because I really enjoy doing video journals, and I just like the idea of like telling stories to like one person, you know, like one or two people that are supposed to see it, and you know, I'm not like trying to apply to like mass audiences, like I'm just telling stories to my teacher, and I like that idea. So, I guess I can just do updates, and I do have an actual story that talks about diversity, and this is what my final project should have been on, but I'll just kind of give like a general explanation of this other thing that I wanted to talk about, and so I guess an update on stuff with Multicultural Girl. I learned that she is German Assiniboine Indian, so that was kind of cool. I don't know what happened, because things were, I mean, like we started talking and hanging out and things were going really well, and then like randomly, just as like quickly as things started up, she just like stopped talking to me, and it was like the weirdest thing. And I would like try to like ask her about it, and she like wouldn't ever address it or do anything, and like I don't know what I did wrong. And so I've been like laying low, like I erased her number out of my phone so I wouldn't like call it and be desperate, because I know that I would, because I'm that kind of person, and I've just been like laying low, and yeah, like I stopped sitting by her, you know, because like my idea is like not to, you know, be a jerk or to come off as rude, like, oh, you won't talk to me, so now I'm gonna, you know, hang out by myself. Like, it's just to remove myself from the situation, and like if she wants to incite things, like she will, and I will not be a tool about it. And I like, honestly, that sucks. I've been really upset about it. I was like so sad when things got like really weird that I literally got sick. Like, I was so worried that I like worked myself up into like literally being sick, and I think that's really sad. I mean, I'm the kind of person that like if I have an idea, or, you know, I want to do something, like, I like, really commit to it, you know? Like, I make up my mind and then I do it, and, I don't know. It really bothers me. I don't know what's wrong with me or what I did. I was fairly heartbroken about it, so, I don't know why I'm telling you that. Anyway, this other thing that I wanted to talk about is actually incredibly important. And that is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, which, I mean, obviously is teach, but my family belongs to an organization called Compassion International, and the goal of Compassion International is we give money to people in struggling communities. Actually, to children and their families in struggling communities, you know, around the world. And our child, his name is Bilal Solatan, and he is 12 years old, and he lives in Africa. And my family, we give money to him, and we started doing that around November last year, and like late November, early December, I can't remember. It rhymed. So, we started, you know, giving money to this kid, and you know, you're supposed to, like, write him, and he's supposed to write you, and, like, you're just supposed to communicate and tell him about your life and who you are. And, for several months, we had forgotten about him. And, the thing that Compassion does is they they take money out of your, out of your account. Like, you just give them your account number, and apparently they just, like, take money out of your account. And so automatically, like, without even a thought, like, we're funding him, and we're meeting his physical needs. But we had just forgotten about him, and I was in my room this summer. I was on my computer, and I had just bought an iPhone, and I was trying to figure out how to, use my iPhone. And my dad walks in, and he says, he's holding the picture of Bilal, and he's like, "Do you know who this is?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's the kid that we sponsor." And he's like, "Do you know his name?" And I couldn't tell you. And he's like, "Have you ever written him?" And I said, "No." And he's like, "I haven't either. We completely forgot about this kid. He's in Africa. We don't know his state of living. Like, we don't know what's going on in his life at all. We don't know about his needs. Like, all we're doing is just, like, blindly giving him money, and without even a thought." And I felt like such a jerk. Like, lots of people would say, "Oh, it's not your fault. Like, that's fine." But I like totally disagree, and I will fight anyone on that. Like, it completely is my fault that I wasn't, providing for this kid, and I wasn't communicating with him, and I wasn't loving it. I wasn't loving him. And so I read his letters, because he had sent 3 letters to us, and we didn't respond to any of them. And his mom was really sick, and I don't know if she's alive still. Like, we haven't gotten a letter from him since, and I don't know if his mom is alive. Like, how terrible am I for not caring about that? Like, that sucks. Like, that is completely my fault. And what I did, I was working at his summer camp, and I brought in his picture, I brought in his letters, and I told the kids about him. And I gave a huge lesson about my friend Bilal, and I told them all about it. And you know what those kids did? There was about 12 of them, and they all wrote him letters, and they wrote him pictures. And then I sat down and I wrote him a letter. And I'm in the process of trying to send those and trying to get those to him, and just kind of going through all of that, it made me realize something. I go to a church that is incredibly involved with Africa stuff. Like, we do lots of things. We build schools and orphanages, and provide food for villages, and education, and how to maintain food and all of that stuff. Like, we do all of that stuff for Ethiopia. We have an adoption agreement set up with those guys. Like, we do so much, and every time my church would talk about it, I would get, like, really annoyed, because I would feel like they were cramming Africa down my throat, and I would just, for some reason, get so incredibly annoyed with them. And kind of what I realized is, like, that annoyance was God poking me with the "go to Africa" stick. And through going, finding out about my little bro Bilal, and how crappy his situation was after reading his letters, and seeing how crappy of a person I was for completely disregarding him for half a freaking year, I realized that, that's God poking me with the "go to Africa" stick, and I need to go to Africa. And so what I'm going to do after I graduate is I'm just going to go. I'm going to find a teaching position, and I don't care how I do it, or where I live, or how I go about it. I'm just going to do it. Because quite honestly, I have nothing to lose. I'm not in a relationship, obviously, thanks to Multicultural Girl. That was a joke. I'm not in a relationship. Like, I have no one that I'm committed to. I don't have, like, giant prospects of, like, super, rewarding jobs. Like, I'm sure I could get something easily here, but I don't have, like, this base set up here, unlike, like my parents. Like, my parents couldn't just, like, go to Africa. Like, when I graduate, I can easily do that. and I'm going to. You know, and if I meet somebody that I would even remotely think of being committed to, you know, like obviously I would try to pursue that, and then maybe stick around a couple years and then go, you know, and just go for like a year or so. But I really honestly feel like that is that's where I'm supposed to be. And I would gladly sell every instrument I own to do that. I would gladly sell every stupid vinyl record I own to do that. Like I would just go, because that's what God wants me to do. And I feel like I shouldn't ignore that. So thank you so much for watching my video journals. You were awesome, and hopefully your day is going really well. And thank you for listening to all of the stupid things that I have to say. I really don't add a whole lot, and I know that, and hopefully I can just make your day a little bit better by just existing. That's all I ask.